When you know how to understand people, you avoid mistakes in the communication and are less likely to be disappointed. When you know psychological techniques, you understand why you have conflicts with some people and get along well with others. It's important to be able to represent his character as a whole by the actions of the person. When you learn to read a person, you will know what you can expect and demand from him, and what you cannot. From this video, you will learn 10 ways how to learn to read a person. Watch the video to the end and you will stop being surprised by the actions of others. You will stop demanding from your subordinates and relatives what they cannot fulfill in principle. Check whether the person is able to adjust to the situation. To test a person's emotional stability, invite him and her to the cafe. Before the meeting, change your plans and suggest going to the movies. Say that now, just show the movie that you have alone wanted to see. If your new acquaintance refuses and says that is not logical, you got a person who does not adapt well to different situations. Such people are not able to make quick decisions and switch. You will have a hard time in such a relationship because this behavior will be constant. If you don't want to always adjust to another person, it's better to refuse to communicate with him, because he will never be able to adjust to you. Check whether the person is a good listener. Listening is a very important skill, because attentiveness to the person you are talking to is either there or not. If a person asks you, "How are you doing?" but never asks, "Why?" does that indicate a fake interest? If a person is ready to listen to you actively, he will put aside all business and turn to face you, will make eye contact with interest and will nod his head. Do you pay attention to how people listen to you? Share in comments what other ways you use to get to know a person. Learn about the person's environment. When talking to the person, try to find out as much as you can about their environment, who they socialize with, and what their family relationships are like. If the person shares their stories with interest, talks about their friends, and speaks positively about their family, you can continue to get to know them. But if the person starts complaining that everyone has abandoned him, it's worth thinking about. It's unlikely that everyone will turn away from a good selfless person overnight. Observe emotional stability. If your acquaintance reacts violently to all events that happen to him, soon you will begin to feel his emotion on himself. Such people are looking for a close person to pour out their negative emotion on him, so they release themselves from emotions. After communicating with such people, you may sit in the same posture for hours without desire and without thoughts. If you feel apathy, a decline in strength after meetings, it's better to stop communicating. Recognize people who absorb other people's energy is not easy. From the looks of the way are not remarkable. Usually, these people are quite calm and balanced. It's almost impossible to bring them out of themselves. They seem invulnerable. In conversation, they are quite friendly and may even seem nice, but they have their own strange behavior. They are overly curious, that to know everything about you, pester you with questions about your personal life and may violate your personal space. Check to see if you are being taken advantage of. All people like to be praised and complimented, but often this is not done from the heart. If the colleague or friend starts asking you to replace him after a short acquaintance, he is taking advantage of you. This will become more noticeable when the requests are more substantial and frequent. Your friends or colleague may constantly ask you for help, such as writing a term paper for him or preparing a report for the end of the week. he or she is always having personal problems or just an element. You will fulfill the request because you feel sorry for him, until you notice that his works as a projects get higher grades and praise, while you remain in their shadows. The main rule in communicating with such people: learn to refuse, find the strength to say no. Such people are sure to find a lot of tricks to make you do what they need, because losing your help, they lose the possibility of the comfortable and quiet existence. Don't give in to provocation, be adamant, value your labor, and respect yourself. It's not necessary to stop relation with such people. Soon you will notice that your best friend and colleague himself would stop communicating with you when he realized that you have nothing more to take from you and you are out of his control. Check the person's sincerity. Take a closer look at how the person behaves in private and in company. An honest friend will not change behavior and pretend to be someone else. How do you recognize hypocritical people? Hypocrites act like this. They respect only those people who are powerful, criticize people to make them look better, gossip constantly, help only when it is profitable, exalt themselves in every way, try their best to impress, talk a lot but do nothing, try their best to draw attention to themselves. Learn to recognize lies. More often than not, we want to learn how to discern people so they will not be deceived. A person tells the truth when he looks directly into your eyes. He is a relaxed posture. His arms and legs are relaxed and in a natural position. He answers your questions quickly and without hesitations. He smiles sincerely. The corners of his mouth are lifted and wrinkles from around his eyes. A person lies then talking. He takes his eyes off from one side to the other. His arms and legs are crossed and his movements are abstract. He changes the intonation of his voice. If a person is lying, he has incoherent speech. He confuses facts, makes long pauses. He smiles without raising the corner of the mouth. Such facial expressions are more like a smirk. But do not hurry to draw conclusions. An unfamiliar environment or condition can affect a person's behavior. Develop your intuition. Your subconscious mind may know more than you think. It stores all the good and bad experience you have had with people. Therefore, sometimes you can feel your inner voice that tells you whether to trust a person or not. Learn to hear it, and you will be able to intuitively guess the catch. Apply knowledge through experience. A person who studies psychology from books can be an excellent theorist, give the right examples, but not apply the knowledge in life. You can read dozens of books of psychology, watch more than 100 videos on YouTube. But if you don't practice, your knowledge will remain useless. At first, it will be difficult for you to memorize the subtleties of the psychology, specific psychological techniques. But if you apply your knowledge more often in your life, it will soon become a habit. Learn to analyze. A person can long seem like a friend and behave with dignity, but one day the deception will be revealed. This will indicate details that initially seemed insignificant, and you might not even notice them. So learn to pay attention to the nuance of the behavior and habits of people around you, because a person can't always pretend. When you begin to observe others and analyze their actions, you will be able to recognize even a small lie. Now you know 10 ways to read a person. Start applying this knowledge today. See you soon, friends, on the Brain Lab channel.